Hey guys, Kid Guru here, and today I have to answer this interview that Duncan, or Mobile Phone 2003, Duncan MTV, sent me. So it's a couple questions on various categories, like operating systems, software, internet, and GTD, getting things done, and I'm going to go through them all right now. So thanks Duncan for the opportunity and emailing me about this. So if you were to buy a computer tomorrow with any operating system of your choice installed, what would it be and why? Mac OS 10 because I have XP, I have Vista, I've tried Ubuntu, and I just want a whole new experience and, new stuff to play with, a new environment. Name 3 things you like most about your OS. XP is my main OS. Does okay in RAM usage. I'm managing with my RAM. It's an old system, mind you. Customability because of third-party apps, custom themes, boot screens, login screens. A whole bunch of stuff. And the software community. Very, a lot of third-party apps, a lot of cool, crazy apps, a lot of cool apps, just a lot of stuff out there. Name 3 things you dislike about your OS. Random errors or crashes at times. I can lock up at times, and it just pisses me off. UI, the default UI, like the user interface. They can work on. Vista did, they introduced Arrow, but OS 10 has its stock. Ubuntu has a great, whole type of GUI, and Windows has to do something to, really, I guess, revamp their design in a sense. And OS support out of the box, like when I have a problem, I go to Google to find my solution, and from a support forum or wherever it is. Not like sending error reports and waiting isn't really going to help me, or sometimes Microsoft has stuff on their site, sometimes they don't. The OS support could be more, I guess, help and support could be more useful, maybe bring topics from the web if possible, stuff like that. 4, what would be your advice to users considering switching OSs? First off, whatever OS you're switching to, whatever, back up your data if you're going to move data over or whatever, or, bring data over. Look for web alternatives if possible, if you can't do certain stuff with applications, you may want to look to store stuff in the web, in the cloud as they refer to. Look for software alternatives, etc., because stuff that you had on Windows might not work on OS 10, and if you really do need it, look into VMware or Parallels virtualization software to get it working. Look for new apps, services are available for your operating system. OS 10 has a lot. If you're switching to OS 10, there's a whole new environment of apps for you out there to try out. Same thing for Linux, same things for Windows if you're switching to either one of those 3. Moving on to the next category, software. What is your application that you use most on your system? I checked Recrupa for this, and it says 70% of my time is spent on Firefox. What is your opinion on free/open source software versus commercial software? Okay, so open source software is a great idea because it gives you the opportunity to enhance your software and give other people a chance to, play around with it, build their own things. And it's free. Usually it's free software along with that. It just gives everybody a chance to use it. Get the word out. It's gonna open up to a more variety of audience because it's free. It's not, you don't have to pay for it, and not everybody's gonna pay for commercial software. And then again, there is some commercial software that really I think is overpriced sometimes. There's some apps there's some applications though that are like iShowU, Chat or stuff like that are fair price, or a great price for a great application. Those are good apps, good commercial software. Then again, there's those applications that are really high up there, especially for kids or teens who are really into technology, like myself and other kids out there. It's going to be hard for us to get stuff like Vegas Pro and Photoshop. Some of us, I have Vegas. If we're not going to get it, we have opportunities like discounts, or what else is there? That free trials, I guess, demos, or free alternatives like open source alternatives. There's like Photoshop. Instead of getting Photoshop, you can get GIMP, stuff like that. And sometimes that does lead to piracy because kids can't afford something, so they'll pirate it if possible. So that leads you to the next question: what's your view on piracy? In a sense, it's bad, but there's some stuff that's been so much common in the mainstream. Like for example, you have music, DVDs, or movies, I guess you'd say, and DVDs, movies, and games. They're, their own category of pirated, stuff that's more common nowadays. Now you're starting to see software. Now you're starting to see, even books are becoming out there. Textbooks, people scan them and put them online. But in a sense, sometimes for software, people can afford it. They turn to that. That's what they do. But in other senses, it's bad. It's bad because it's against the law, stuff like that. And if it's only like cheap stuff, I mean, you can buy the cheap stuff. Honestly, you can save your money, buy something like $20, $10. I don't see the point of pirating something that's $5, or stuff like that. But some people do turn to that, and hopefully the community will see that you have to start turning more towards free and open source rather than charging people, or lower your prices. Give special deals out there to kids or stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have to maybe give a better free version, or stuff like that, so people have less prone to pirate it rather than or buy it for that, in that matter. And again, if you're using free or open source software, developers can still make money. There's advertisements, there's sponsorship, there's partners, all that stuff that they can still make money even though they're not selling their application. Do you do any programming yourself? No, I do know some HTML, a little bit of PHP. Not too much though, but We493 does all my programming for my site, etc. Moving on to the next category, Internet. What is the website that you visit most, except your own? YouTube, Twitter, and Ping.fm are the top 3. And Google, of course. What web service can you not live without? Example, IM or email. Email and Twitter. Those are 2 services I can't live without. I love them both. Can you survive without the Internet for a week? Physically, yes. Mentally, no. I couldn't probably last 3 days. I mean, I would go out and stuff if I knew it was coming, but if it just went out randomly, I would be mad and pissed off because, I need to check my email, I need to do all this stuff, and back me up, and, especially a week. When you leave your computer, do you take the Internet with you, i.e. mobile device? I don't have the capability. I didn't buy the whole plan on that with my cell phone. But, I mean, I might get an iPod Touch to do that. And I would love to have it on the go if I need to check my email when I'm sitting down somewhere. But I do have a laptop if I need to get any work done. And seriously, I'm on the go on a trip, I'll bring my laptop. But if I'm just going out to hang out with friends, no. GTD, getting things done, is the next category. Do you have any custom hotkeys for your computer? Yes, I use hotkeybinds to do that. Which applications do you use, if any, to organize yourself? Thunderbird, Hotkeybind, and Remember the Milk as a web service. Remember the Milk is awesome. What is the biggest time saver on your computer? Thunderbird, because it has all my email and everything organized, my calendar. Synergy, because I don't have to, one mouse, one keyboard with multiple computers. I don't have to reach over all over the place. It's less clutter, just saves a lot of time. Chrome apps, because I can click calendar, I can click reader, it just opens instantly. As well as Firefox, bookmarklets, stuff like that. That just save a great amount of time. Do you plan ahead or play it by ear? I plan ahead for the most part. If I have to play it by ear, I'll plan ahead. If I have to do something right away, then I'll try and make something to base off my ideas. I'll make quick notes to read off of, something to see, and I can build off of that. I need something in front of me just to remind me what I'm doing, and then I can work off that. Winging it, I guess, kind of hard. To be organized is easier for me, and it's just easier for me to think, easier for me to produce content, I guess you can say. When I'm making videos, I need a script for me. It makes it easier for me to talk, to speak, to make better content, rather than just, winging it and going whatever's off my mind. It's a little harder that way. So most part, I plan ahead, but if I have to play it by ear, I need to base it off something. So yeah. So you guys, those are all the questions for the interview, the general computing interview. Thanks, Duncan, for giving me the opportunity. And yeah, so